Welcome back to yet another YouTube video. It is your girl Lynn Way, and there's absolutely no way without going through the way, and we believe that Jesus Christ is the way. So I don't know, I'm a little conflicted about this video. I've been meaning to shoot it for a while, and it's really been stressing my mind, but it's raining, by the way, so if you hear any drops and stuff like that, it's because there's rain outside, and I'm at home, hence the couch set up. This is sort of how I would like my apartment to look like and how I would like my future videos to look like, because I mean, yeah, my mom has a very, I know I am her daughter, I mean, like, look at this couch, isn't it so pretty? But anyway, that's not the point of today's video. Today's video is really I just want to break down and really talk about what happened in third year. Like, oh my goodness. Just like looking back in retrospect, that year was a lot. It was like, if you watch the previous first block experience video, you know that I lost my grandmother like in the first block, and that I am doing occupational therapy. If you're new to this channel, my name is Lynn Way, like I said at the very beginning, and I just make content for students, university students, teenagers, all those people, young adults in general, and I make content along the lines of faith and my Christian walk with the Lord, and it's something that I broadcast and just keeping a video record of it. But that's not the point of today's video. Let me just get straight into it. So I have my iPad here. It's not like I wrote anything down. I just have it because I think it's cool to hold on to it. Yeah, so my goodness, I don't know where to start. So at the very beginning of third year, like at UWC, they will tell you, like your lecturers told us, that not everyone is going to make it to the new year, to the fourth year. They told us that if you were a distinction student, forget it. The odds of you getting distinction is going to decrease. And obviously I was like, maybe they're just kidding. Maybe they're just trying to scare us, And they were telling us about how heavy the workload is. I personally think that they should really go in deeper detail in terms of proving to us that what they're saying is true, because if they did that, we would have not been where we were. So yeah, I got my transcript 22 December last year, and I looked at it and I was shocked. I moved from 79.9, I think 96 or something, 91, I don't know, grade average to a 65 point something, and that says a lot about what happened with the modules, what happened with the workload, what happened with everything else. And the rain is getting so heavy, my goodness, there's nothing outside. Yeah, it's getting really bad, but I closed the windows. I don't know why I can still hear it. Hopefully you guys can hear me through the rain, because it's going so bad. I didn't think it was gonna go this bad. But just to continue what I was saying, it said a lot about how difficult the year was, and in general the workload. I think that when I look in retrospect and I inspect myself, what I could have done better, what I didn't do so well, where were the areas where I fell short, and I think most of it is the practical aspect of linking theory to the practical. I can tell you what I'm supposed to do, but when I need to do it, it's it fades away. And I think, not that it fades away, I think that's the major concern I have in general with finishing this year and graduating and getting into the field. Will I be prepared enough? But I think we have 3 more blocks, so probably I will be prepared. They're just going to take me through hell. But I just feel it was a lot emotionally, it was a lot mentally, it took from me a lot of things, and I just when I think back and I'm this is not the degree I expected it to be. I love my degree, don't get me wrong, I love it, I enjoy it, I can do it for the rest of my life, but getting to the part where I do it for the rest of my life, there's these things they call case studies, there's these things they call session plans. I don't think the word soap is ever going to mean the same to me ever, because there were so many. And I think that it's important, like things that I can tip the next person that's coming after me, or if you're a third year, you're watching this, or first year watching this, is that get under mentorship as quick as possible. Like get somebody that's already ahead of you and really like have them mentor you. Like they won't have the time, but they will like give you the necessary skill set that you need to do. Like I stayed opposite a fourth year last year, so that sort of helped, because this is somebody that's walked the walk before me, is already walking the walk as I speak to her. So she will tell me like, oh, this is what you expect, this is how clinicians behave, this is how supervisors behave. I'll speak about those important, like those people, like a little bit later, and TAT groups and all these things. So when everything obviously like was getting started and we were in that zone, and I was just like, you know, so confused. I've just been lucky. No, it's not even luck. I think God really blessed me with people that I've met in my life. Like he would either it be circumstantial or it be like, I don't think none of them were circumstantial really. I feel like they were purposed for them to meet me at the time that they did. And all these people, like the person that stayed opposite me, I met through a friend. And then the person before that person that was like ahead of me, that was my friend and everything, was the person that invited me to church. So I already had this like relationship built with these people, and I was able to just like go under their guidance, ask them questions, ask them to review my session plans, my sessions, tell me if I'm doing this wrong, am I doing this better, what do you think, what are the questions you would ask me about proportions, about like all these different measures and things that you will learn as the time progresses when you come into third year. And I think that really made the journey a little bit like less confusing, because like my first block I was confused. I'm not even going to accuse you anything. Majority of it I didn't know what I was doing. My second block I was bored, because the first one was so hectic, and then this one is so relaxed, and I'm like, I don't like how relaxed this situation is. I did better in it though, but it's still that process of thinking where it's like I needed a little bit more guidance. But probably we'll do it in a separate video. But the most important thing is get mentorship. That's tip number one. And then I think my second tip would be communication. Like communicate. And this is where your clinician, your supervisor, and your lecturer and year rep become very important people. Because I communicated, like when I couldn't attend type groups, I would communicate that I cannot attend this type group and this is the reason why. And that is just, it speaks more about work ethic than it does anything else, and about professionalism. And that's something they're trying to instill in us based off like our rubric and all of that kind of stuff. And if you guys would actually like me to go through the rubric with you, I would definitely like the big block rubric. If you are third year, like you're wondering what to do at UWC, you can just like comment down in the comment section, and I will most definitely do like show you guys how the rubric works and why it's the way it is and how difficult it is to get the marks. I don't want to like, you know, speak down on anyone. It's raining really heavily, people. I'm telling you, the wind is blowing things to the floor. This is mind-blowing. Yeah, Joburg rain is very weird. But anyway, let me just move on, right? So the clinician, like communicate. The clinician is on, like is the hands-on person that works with you every single day. Monday to Thursday, you're seeing this person. Create a positive relationship with the clinician. Whether they're nice, they're mean, they're rude, they are whatever. Some of them are doing it because they just need points. Others do it because they love the work. So it's really just a matter of how do you come across. Humble yourself above and beyond. Don't be arrogant. Don't be too critical of them as well. That's something I got in like my previous blog, because I was a little critical. Like, I mean, guys, you're supposed to be doing your jobs. But, you know, just like be open-minded and really just like rest your minds and speak to these people, because they are actually meant to assist you and help you in anything that you need. Right. Doors are now slamming. It's fun. And then the other thing as well, like another tip, right? So it's just not only communicate with your clinician, like communicate with your supervisor. If the workload is too much for you and there's not enough time, communicate that you're going to need an extension. And this does not impact on your marks, but it speaks more on professionalism. It's a matter of, I don't think I can finish this workload at this rate or this immediate, because I'm trying to deliver something that's worthy of your eyes. So when you communicate with your supervisor that you are unable to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously you don't need to don't do it every single week. You have 7 weeks, bruh. At least do it 2 times if it gets difficult. Like, do it in the times you're submitting your mid block. Do it in the times you're submitting your final block case study. So like, those are the little things where communication becomes a vital part of the entire process. Like, you need to say, in this moment, this is what's happening in my personal life, and this is the impact that it has on what I'm currently working on. The dangers of that, the precaution that you should take when you do speak out and you do communicate certain things to certain individuals, it's going to be up to those people whether or not they're accepting of your struggle. So not everybody's going to accept your struggle. Not everybody's going to understand why you can't submit your case study. Well, everybody else that's in your group is able to, like in your rotation, is able to submit the case study, able to do all of those things. No one is going to be able to understand that. Not all the time. Sometimes you can get a very nice supervisor. Sometimes you won't. So you need to prep yourself for when those matters like come up and they happen, right? So that's the first thing. My goodness, the rain. Like, if I show you what it looks like outside right now, like I think it's hail now. Oh wow. Anyway, yeah. So that's like the very first important thing, because like you can take mental health days in our process, like the UWC process. You can take mental health breaks, 3 maximum, and you also can. What's the other thing? You can defer a block. So that looks like saying, I am unable to do this or unfit to do this in this moment. You can do that. So there's things that you are in control of. But if somebody else secondary sees that you are unable and unwilling and is not in a space to be seeing clients, they can pull you out of block. And they will justify it by whatever mental health issues or physical abuse or any other form of thing that's happening that's a struggle to you, whether it be knowledge, a gap in understanding, a gap in integration. Those are things that they can pull you out of blocks for. So the precaution is that when you're communicate in such a way that you show that you are working towards something. Like, I had a mental breakdown in my, I think it was my first or second block. Like, I had mental breakdown, just like both blocks. Let's just say that I had panic attacks. I had all these things, but how I communicated them was a matter of, I cannot come to this tutorial. Like, I even had a message that I sent to my my tutor for, I think, my second block or something, or the first one, where I said, I'm unable to show up to this touch because I'm dealing with this, and this is how I am dealing with it. So I was dealing with grief, so I went to see a therapist, a social worker, to like sort of like go through my emotions and really like delve deep into that stuff, right? So that's my second tip, communicate. My third tip is, like, because I obviously shared how everything went. My third tip is start your case study as quick as possible. Like, type it as quick as possible. Have a skeleton. Like, if it means you do it before the block, have a skeleton. Like, the most important thing is having a skeleton, because when you have a skeleton, you can work through the day or throughout the block, like each and every single day. This is something I did in my second block, and it worked very well, where each day I had something of the domain I needed to accomplish. Whether it be I was going to do an assessment to get the information, or I was going to do observations, or I was going to do an activity that would give me the answers that I needed, or I was just going to do an informal interview, or just collateral information. I would state that in my to-do list for the day. So after I see my client, this is what I'm going to do, write up my SOAP analysis, or like do a verbal SOAP with my clinician. And please do not wait for your clinician to tell you that you can do a verbal SOAP. Don't, like, just go and ask them and tell them you ready. Like, always be prepared to do a SOAP. Like, that's all I'm saying. Always be prepared to do a SOAP analysis. Like, no one should be telling you that you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is information. Yep, I've done the best that I could to close the windows. Got a little bit better. because like the rain was literally coming into the house. My lord. But so where was I? I was on the matter of communicating. Okay, I already finished communicating. So my third. So the first one was get a mentor. it was get mentor. The second one was communicate. The third one was to start your case studies as soon as possible. Start your case studies as soon as possible. Start your session plans as quickly as possible. And I think like after the first week, if you still don't have clarity on what you're supposed to do with your client, communicate with your clinician. It's very important that you say that, listen, this is where I am, because that person can sort of like prompt you to learn or open up some form of thought process that needs to happen in your head to teach you clinical reasoning, because nobody is expecting you to be perfect, nobody's expecting you to do extremely well, but everybody is expecting for you to try. And that's the other thing I was talking about, that you should not wait for your clinician to tell you when to speak, what to do, how to do it. You need to be the one that's taking responsibility for your own learning. I think that's one thing that I do very well. I take responsibility. If I don't know something, it is my responsibility to find out how to do that. Whether it be I'm speaking to you, my clinician, you, my supervisor, you, my lecturer, I'm going through slides, I will do everything to say that I did my best, looked for what I thought was important. That's the first thing, right? That's not the first thing, that's the fourth thing. Yes, take responsibility for your own learning. That's the fourth thing. And then the fifth thing that I think is also important is take it easy on yourself. Like really take it easy and have rest days. And by rest days, I know a lot of people will be like, but how do you rest when you have so much work? How do you not do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like I've got all of this, I've got that, I've got whatever. We all have things to do, we all have responsibilities. Every single person comes from a different background. They have a lot of stuff going on in their own lives. Like for example, I was working last year. I worked the entire year through both my blocks. I would literally come out of block, go straight to work. After work, come write a session plan, go to sleep at like 12 o'clock, be up at like 5, 6, and repeat. So that is just to show you that anything is possible if you manage your time. Like organization is super important, time management. Google Calendar is your best friend. Whether you're using Notion, you're using a physical calendar, but I think that Google Calendar, because you carry it around with you, you can literally see what you were supposed to be doing. Plan your day, super important, especially in occupational therapy. Plan your day, organize your day, really have time blocks where you know you are most proactive, you're the most effective. I know that in the morning, I am the most powerful thing on earth. Like in the morning, my productivity peak is very high. Like I can work for 4 hours with very minimal distraction. It doesn't mean I don't get distracted, but there's very minimal distraction because I'm so focused on trying to complete whatever I'm doing in that moment that you can't distract me. That's why most of my sessions with my clients will happen in the morning. They will happen before lunch because that's my strongest hour. Like I know my strongest times, so I use my strongest times because I'm currently awake and my brain is very active. Learn yourself. That's also a very important thing. As a therapist, as a person, you need to be aware of your own patterns, like your own patterns. Patterns? Patterns. Yeah. But you need to be aware of yourself. Like be aware of what makes you mad. I know that after lunch, I want to sleep. After lunch, I really just want to sleep, relax, cool down, do some leisure activity, and it's something I do very well. Like I do it everywhere, so I know myself. So know yourself to that degree where it's like, I know right now this is when I'm most active, this is when I'm not active, this is when I should be doing something else. So just like be aware of yourself in that context and in that way. So that's the other thing. And organize, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Like if you watch all my other videos, I'm a big organization person. I'm a big routine person. If you're an OT student, you would know what routines are. I believe that routines are very important and that a human being is a system. So you need to work on systems to make yourself work. And this is also something I picked up from Atomic Habits, the book. So just like these dogs, the rain stops and then they start. What is going on? Hopefully they're fine. I'll go check on them after this video. So it's just those really organized, work on routines, because once you build a routine, like it's very difficult to break you off it. Like for example, I have a routine that I wake up like at 5 every single day, and I read my Bible, and then I walk or jog to the gym. I get to the gym, I gym 30-45 minutes, or that was like my routine back then. And then when like I started to block, things started getting a little bit trickier because I would have work, so I would wake up and do a 10, like, you know, like about 15 minutes of my, like, I condensed my schedule. I condensed the routine, but I was still doing the things I would do even with a stretched amount of time. So those are things that you like sort of like learn how to do, like condensing time, and then having focus times, because like you can't work on your case study at your placement, but what you can do is work on the information you need for your case study at the placement. So you can't like be typing your case study, but you can be working for, like, looking for information, because that's basically what you do. During the times you're not with your client, go explore the hospital, make relationships. Like OT is a very small community. Like every OT knows every other OT. Like honestly, I don't know how they do it, but every other OT knows every other OT. I don't know how, but those are like the little things that I picked up, and just like branching out and not just sitting by yourself. Go explore, go meet people, go, like, it's not the most comfortable thing to do, but it's the most helpful thing to do for yourself and your mental health. And your block partner is your block partner. You guys are supposed to work together, and if the person doesn't want to work together with you, it's not a reflection of you, but a reflection of them. That's always important to recognize. It's not me, it's you. You know, because like if you were making effort and the other person isn't, whose fault is it? You know? So those are like the little things that I have, like the tips, because I wanted to do a reflection, but then because like the year was just heavy theory, heavy practical, I think that's the other thing. Like, come prepared. Like, prepare yourself for a whirlwind of learning and very little rest, and start the prep now. Like, if you're watching this video, that is a good prep. And because I mean, you are wanting to know like what have other people that have gone before me went through. So I applaud you for that. That means that you are interested in being a good therapist and being a person, or like making it through this degree. The truth is, about 4th year myself, I'm scared. Like, I am scared. I've been praying, I have been doing all the things. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because if I could move from a distinction student to a 60-something student, like, that says a lot. Like throughout my entire years of studying, which was 1st and 2nd year, I had never seen a D in my life. And in 3rd year, I saw too many, and I was shocked. I wasn't actually shocked. Like, I knew that I had not done well in other like modules. I'll come out and I'm like, yo, I clearly there. It's just chai. My first block was a D. My second block was a C. So what I'm mostly focusing on is improving from the previous one. Like, whatever I learned needs to radiate in whatever I'm moving into. So that's why reflection is important. That's why they make us do that carb cycle, journal writing, portfolio thing, because it sort of like helps to see and gauge where you are with your learning and where you are with yourself, and how do you reflect on situations. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am so sorry for the rain earlier, and that yes, you like more videos like this. If you do, just let me know in the comment section, say more of these, and I will know that you even watched this video to the end, because you're a real one. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep making content to assist the people that need it. So if you want to see the rubric as well, just say more of these and then put an R at the end. The people that are reading like the comments won't understand, but you and I would know that she finished the video, you know? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. A video.